What is going on, guys? So I figured I'd start this video out by making a kind of a new meal that I wanted to try. So lately I've been getting into, like, we've been going to a lot of kind of like Asian and just all of the like Indian cuisines and Asian cuisines and stuff like that. So what I wanted to try to make today was a kind of mild base chicken curry. And so yeah, that's what we're gonna try and do today. So to start out with, what I've got is I have half of a yellow onion and then a full yellow pepper. And what I've already done is I have sliced them up lengthways. In the curries that I've tried, I don't know if this is really traditional, but in the curries that I have tried, it's a type of soup-ish type of consistency. And so this is more type of like the, not garnish, but the stuff is floating around the soup. Now, usually what I would do is I'd probably put some more veggies in this, but I'm making this for my girlfriend and I for dinner, and my girlfriend doesn't like vegetables. So I'll probably just add vegetables to mine separate later. So, so to prep this, I've done the onions and the peppers. I have chicken going in my slow cooker, so that way it's easily shreddable whenever we're done and we're prepping it to serve to have. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in a second, put a pot on the stove, put 1 tablespoon of butter on the pot, let that heat up with some minced ginger, and then we will, once the pot gets hot and that stuff simmers in along with the tomato paste, I am going to toss in these onions. Not going to necessarily cook them up all the way, like crisp them, but I am going to kind of let them simmer and soften up a bit, so that way when everything gets thrown in at the end and all the flavors mixed together, we'll end up with kind of softer cooked veggies instead of maybe half cooked veggies. So that's my trick that I'm doing. But anyway, let's go ahead, we'll cut over to the pot and we'll start to throw everything in and get a simmer going on these veggies. All right, so I hope you can hear me and the dishwasher is not ruining the microphone, but, so, got a pot. I take a medium-sized pot, something like this, and we're gonna toss in the butter, toss in the ginger. So crank that on slightly over medium, and not a super measurement, but you know, what is this? Probably a teaspoon is accurate, you know, I just, 2 squirts, nothing crazy. And then a tablespoon of butter, so it's about this much of butter, you know, normal serving. Toss that in. Now we're gonna wait for that. So yeah, we're gonna wait for that. And I guess while we're waiting on this to heat up, so yeah, basically, honestly, for the first recipe that I'm doing on the channel, this is probably my most complicated meal that I'm gonna make. Usually my meals are, you know, I don't know. You know, usually they're not like crazy meals, but what I like to do is I like to make them taste good, but I also like to not have them be like super elaborate or have a bunch of ingredients, you know? That's one of the things that I really don't love about like most like fitness meals or most meals that you see on Instagram with these recipes. You know, you scroll to the ingredients list and yeah, they probably taste really good, but I mean, most people just don't want to deal with that many ingredients. I mean, I don't want to scroll and see 30 ingredients that I have to get, half of them which I probably don't have. You know, most of these ingredients that I'm using, I mean, outside of, I don't know, like outside of maybe like, you know, this coconut milk, you know, most people have this stuff. I guess that's my point, is that most people have these ingredients. And so what I want to try and do on my channel is really kind of show recipes that you can make at home yourself that don't really require a whole lot of, you know, crazy ingredient profiles, or just crazy difficult for not being the sake of difficult. You know, most people are probably in college. They're trying to eat healthier. You know, they don't necessarily want to do, you know, the oven baked chicken and white rice and all that stuff. So yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to do. The butter and the ginger's coming. The ginger's actually, like, the juices from the ginger are starting to bounce off of the pot, so it's nice and hot, which is good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss in my onions and peppers, which is good. And I am just going to stir again. We're mainly just trying to soften up these veggies. I'm not trying to crisp them, you know, not necessarily like a saute or anything like that. I'm just trying to soften them up. This shadow is insane because this part of my kitchen is not lit at all. All right, so while that's going in the pot, another thing that we're gonna do is curry is usually paired with rice. So I have my jasmine rice, courtesy of Costco. You don't have to use jasmine rice. This is just the most available type of rice, very easy to cook. I have my rice cooker. You don't need a rice cooker if you've never, you know, if you've never made rice or you know, ever. I don't know how you've never made rice, but if you haven't made rice, it's fine. If you like your rice not necessarily dry, but maybe a little bit more on the kind of moist side, I would do 2 cups of water for every 1 cup of rice. If you like your rice, you know, traditional, grainy, dry, not necessarily a little bit on the wet side, I would do 1.5 cups of water per 1 cup of rice. So I'm doing 1.5 cups of dry rice. This is a 1/2 cup measurement. So we're doing 3 scoops of this. Little quick maths. I would dry it. To be honest, I don't really care, and I don't really notice that big of a difference unless I'm doing like fried rice. The starch is, you know, the starch is gonna get in there. It's not really gonna matter because, again, this is being paired with curry, which is a soup-like thing anyway, and that's the main reason why people get rid of the starch. All right, so tomato paste is ready. Got my measuring tool. This is gonna be 1 tablespoon. This is the measurement, so first one going in, something like that. There we go. And then second one going in. See, all those veggies are nice and soft. Tomato paste is starting to get in. So now I'm gonna add in my liquids. So first thing I got is bone broth. This has a bit of a beef flavor only because I don't have chicken. First choice would have been the chicken flavored bone broth, but we're doing 1 cup of the bone broth. Pull off the pan. Throw that in there. And then now for what's actually gonna have like that curry flavor, we have 1 cup, slightly less than 1.5 cups of just normal, plain sweetened coconut milk. So that's done. And then what I'm gonna do now to kind of get it a little bit more liquidy, because 1.5 cups of coconut milk is not like a ton of liquid. I'm gonna add in another 1/2 cup, maybe 3/4 cup of just normal milk. You can get honestly any kind, doesn't really matter. This is just what was cheapest at the store. So that's what we have. We're gonna stir. Slowly, just kind of let that heat up. All right, so yeah. So we're stirring this together. This is how it's looking so far. And that yeah, so that is the end of all of the liquid and actual food components. So last thing we're gonna do, let me go ahead and prep these spices, and that will be the last thing as far as for the actual like curry part of the dish. All right, so for the last part of the dish, while the rest of this curry is heating up, my 4 seasonings that are not the curry seasoning, I am doing 1 teaspoon of each. Usually whenever I cook things, and in future videos when I cook things, anytime I do seasonings, most of it's to taste. I don't really try and be super special as far as like being super precise with seasonings. Most of the time, your seasoning is not gonna overtake your food unless you literally put a crap ton in it. But, so, first up, onion powder, again, that goes up, ground cumin, paprika, not a lot, that's fine. Now we stir all of that together. Give it a sniff. Smells good. Last thing we got is the actual curry powder now. So, it smells really good. This is just normal curry powder. So, I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of this curry powder. Eyeball it, there's 1, there's 2. All right, so we stir that in. And then now, all that we're gonna do is wait. I wonder if this light's better. Can you see me? Probably should have done that from the beginning, but it's fine, because I'm not redoing this. I just spilled that over the pot and onto my stovetop, but it's fine. Leave that on the pot. This is at medium heat. I'm just gonna let this simmer and stay until the rice will be served on the side, until the chicken is done. Then when the chicken's done, add that into the pot, keep that in there for a little bit. Not really a huge deal, but honestly just to make sure that the chicken kind of like infuses with all the juices. And then after that, it will be ready to serve, and I will show you guys the finished product then. What's up, guys? So, yeah, that curry actually was really good. I just finished it. And, yeah, probably a little spicier than what I wanted, but I still think it was pretty good. I'm not like honestly, if you guys make it, it's probably not going to be that bad to you. I'm not the biggest fan of spice and whatnot, but anyway, today's a rest day, and so what I'll do probably next is I'll just jump to tomorrow when I have a workout planned for the gym. So that'll be what gets added next. But yeah, if you guys want to try it, go ahead and give it a go. I'll have everything linked in the description. But anyway, yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think if you did end up trying it, and I'll see you guys at the gym. Oh, all right, I've got legs today. This is like, just got off of work and I'm super tired, and it's so hot. In Chattanooga, it is so freaking hot right now, but I don't know what. Yeah, there's nothing to do about it. It's also super hot in this gym, which is not fun, but yeah, I really want to, I don't know. I mean, all the days workout are, important, but legs is always one of those days where like I really have to like make sure that I'm on top of it and I'm focusing, because I have like my quads really lag behind, and that's something that I really wanted to build. But yeah, just at the moment I'm really not feeling like it, but wanted to come on here and at least just kind of like talk myself into getting into the zone. But yeah, we're gonna go in, hit legs. This leg day is gonna be 3 out of the 5 exercises that I do are gonna be like emphasizing more quads and more stretch in the quads. So, and then we'll do one hamstring exercise and then some calves and then some biceps at the end of that. But anyway, yeah, go in there, hit legs, and then I'll talk to you guys after the lift. So. Well, how about that, guys? That actually wasn't that bad of a workout. I don't know if you can tell, I'm drenched in sweat and I'm like probably smell super bad. But no, that was I'm actually surprised. That was a pretty good workout. Yeah, I mean, I said before it started that yeah, I was like getting really tired. And there's most afternoons after work like I start to feel like that, but it's just one of those things where it's like, because legs is so taxing, and I mean, it's just a lot of stress. Like most exercises that you do for legs is just a lot of stress. So I was just like, man, I'm gonna be wiped. But no, it was good. After like probably the first like working set of leg press, I felt totally fine. Like it was, I like was getting in a groove. After like the first working set, I already had like a decent pump, which was nice. So no, that felt pretty good. Yeah, one thing, I was watching a video today while I was at work of Renaissance periodization, and it was a video they uploaded this morning, and it was with I think the guy's name is Eric Helms. Anyway, he's one of these exercise scientists. At least I think that's what he does. Anyway, his field is that he studies exercise science and all of that stuff. And one thing he was saying, he really likes doing leg press and hack squat like anywhere from like the 6 to 8 rep range, because he's noticed that like after that he just gets like super tired, and he just gets super fatigued, and the rest of his sets like after the first one just really like fall down. And I've kind of been noticing that trend too, like especially if you're like slowing down the reps like I'm trying to do, like if you're doing that style of bodybuilding training, I noticed that too. So yeah, I tried that today and it felt really good. It reminded me of back like whenever I would do like powerlifting style of training. Like I would train in like the 6 to 8 rep range usually, unless it was like a triples or singles day. But no, I mean, it felt like pretty good. And then yeah, so I think I'm actually gonna start doing that. And then I did the same thing too with the hack squat after. And then for the leg extensions, I've been really trying to do more of like a leg extensions. I really try and go more for the like higher rep ranges. I enjoy that more, especially with an exercise like that, because it's not, it's not necessarily taxing on the full body. You can really like crank out partials afterwards, so you can really extend the set position that I've been trying to do more of. So that was nice. And then, hamstring curls felt great. They've always felt good. Ever since I've started to use that cue like 3 weeks ago of like actively pressing my knees into the pad that keeps your legs down. I've never done that before. And that felt like super good. And yeah, ever since I've been doing that, like hamstrings have been feeling like amazing. But I think my battery's gonna die soon, so that's great. Yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna go over there, munch some pizza, munch some frozen pizza, eat some old grilled chicken breast, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So see y'all later.